Hey there, and welcome. Just let me know that you can hear and see me in the chat. Just drop it in the chat for me as you join. Thanks for joining, guys. Mads from Denmark and Europe, Nathan from Gainesville, Jason from London, DJ from Colorado, Don from Central Mexico, Mark from Germany, Ross from Spain, but lives in Spain and in the UK. I was just in Spain, Ross. So thanks, Sarah. Yes, you can hear and see me. Awesome. So yeah, if you can drop in the chat where you're joining from, which a lot of you are doing, what your site is and the business you have, that's going to help me form a picture of all you guys that are joining, and hopefully I can give you some context as we go through this to some of the situations that you're in. And also drop in there what do you want to grow your email list for? So is it to increase sales, to boost your business in the eyes of your more trust in the eyes of your customers and things like that? That'd be fantastic. Okay, so let's just go down the list. Jason, web development freelancer from Canada. Andrew from London. Thanks, Ashley. You can hear and see me from London. Peter from Long Island. George from Lanning, Eureka. Francois from London. Awesome. Thanks, guys, for joining me. And if you've joined before as well, just make sure you say hey in the chat, because we've been doing this for, well, it's nearly, I think, probably 10 months now. So we're nearly coming up to a year anniversary. So it'd be great to see some familiar faces in the chat as well. Okay, so Reem, Dave, Regina, Jim, DJ, Jennifer, Andrew, Melissa, you're from New York. You want to learn how to collect emails and what kind of file to put in the emails into, including what fields to use, first, last name, email address. Oh, cool. We're going to cover all that. So if you guys have got any questions during the workshop at all, there is a Q&A only section in the chat. So if whilst I'm doing the workshop, if you've got any questions, I'm going to be running the chat as well. So I'm not going to stop all the time to answer questions. I'll be doing a Q&A at the end of this to cover as many questions as possible. But I will try and interact in the chat as well, because I love interactions in these things. So if you have got anything you want to say and you want to say hey to each other, or anyone wants to help each other out in the chat as well, answer questions in there, go ahead, and then we'll cover it a bit later as well. I just want to let you guys know I'm really excited about this one, because I wanted to cover as much as possible, because we put out an email as part of the registration, and a load of you got back to us in reply and told me exactly what you want, what you're looking for, what kind of businesses you have. I'll take a look in the chat in a minute and see if there's any more in there. And I've put this workshop together to include as much as possible. So if you're wondering, is building an email list better than other forms of email marketing like social media? We're going to answer that. If you've tried it before with your business and it didn't work, we're going to show you why these things fail for businesses, and also how to succeed in this as well. We're also going to answer what's the best email platform to get started with, what we recommend, and I'm going to give you an overview. We're going to dive into that tool. I'm going to do an overview, and you can do that with me whilst we're on this workshop as well. And is it even worth the effort you put in? What's the return that you're going to get for the investment that you put into it? So we're going to go over that. And if you're one of those people and you're like, I don't have the time, knowledge, or resources to do that, do not worry. We're going to answer that as well. And I've put together a couple of demos and 2 additional goodies as part of this workshop, completely exclusive to this workshop, that is going to cut your time at least by 50% when doing email marketing. So I'm going to provide those towards the end of the workshop, and we're going to go through them, and you're going to have a look at them. They're really, really cool. I'm really happy with them. So Sarah, working for a small number of clients, so mostly small businesses, mostly handmade seasonal products, and a couple of non-profits. Awesome. Really loving the interaction in the chat, guys. Thank you so much. Okay, so 5 minutes over. Let's jump into the workshop. And this workshop, like I said, I've been super excited about this workshop. It is about how to build an email list that drives steady traffic. So if you're losing Google traffic and a lot of businesses are at the moment, websites are at the moment. This is a fantastic way to drive steady traffic to your website. Now, you might be wondering, who am I? I'm Ryan Pretty. I am the video content manager here at WP Beginner. I've made lots of content on building email lists and things like that as well. And we're going to cover a lot of things in this workshop. I'm going to try and pack as much as possible into it. And the reason we do these workshops is we want to provide you guys with the best tools, the best information for the time you spend with us during these workshops as well. So we're going to get into it right now. And just before I do, I'm just going to go through the chat and see where people are in terms of what they're looking for. Ross, I want to increase sales by showcasing bikes on sale. Awesome. The tools that I built for you, you're gonna love. You can customize them and they will help you do just that. So Barbara wants to build brand loyalty. Amazing. And just to answer any questions about, will there be this is being recorded, yeah? So this is being recorded and you will receive a link to it tomorrow when the post workshop email goes out. So yeah, don't worry, you haven't missed anything at all. You'll get a replay link for this as well, but stick with me because I'm going to give you as much information as possible now. So let's get started with the truth about your website traffic. Okay, so in the last couple of years, Google's core search update and the way its search works has changed multiple times and hit lots of businesses, especially their websites, who have seen traffic plummet. Google is an amazing source of traffic, but recently it's gone a bit downhill for many businesses and a lot of people have been affected by that. You may have noticed as well, Google has also introduced new AI features like AI overviews and the new AI mode, which answer people's questions right on the page, which means when we were driving traffic to our site by, ranking in search results for people's queries and questions, we're seeing a lot less of that now because Google has started showing the answers for people searches right in the search results. So not many people are clicking on as many blue links anymore. This means you're getting much less traffic for your efforts when it comes to SEO and creating content on your site. So in that way, you're probably missing out on that connection with people and building a rapport with people and building trust because people aren't coming to your site as much for information about the products you serve or the products you do or the services you have. And even if you do get traffic right now, 98% of first-time visitors never return, as they're either casual browsers or don't know enough about your products, business to trust you and make a purchase on your site. It's actually the studies show that people need at least 3 to 7 touch points with a business before considering a purchase. So a touch point could be social media, your website, email, meeting you in person, dropping into your shop. They need to be able to interact with you at least 3 to 7 times to then start building up a picture of who you are and considering make a purchase. And we all know SEO rankings also can change overnight as well, which means we've got to work a lot more harder to stay up there in the search results. And it's just a lot of effort to try and scrape as much traffic together as possible to send to our website. Now, instead of constantly chasing traffic, what if we built a system that brings people back to you automatically? And what if that system allows you to build a relationship with your ideal customer and showcase your expertise whilst also letting them know about the things and products they'd be interested in? 2, it allows you to bring them back to your site and make them a regular customer. And what also, if we built a system where you can stop depending on algorithms and have a direct line of communication with your customers. So what's this magic traffic source then? And as obviously we've titled the workshop in this way, you know it's email marketing. And with email marketing, email isn't just about collecting subscribers. It's about collecting the right subscribers, the ones who actually join the wait list for your next product or service, that can't wait to hear from you every week, and that make regular purchases because they feel that they know you very well and understand the services and products you offer. So email marketing does give you your own audience, predictable communication, and the highest return on investment marketing channel that you can get. Okay. So in this workshop, we'll show you how simple this can be, even if you're short of time, skills, or ideas. You won't need a huge amount of traffic, complex tools or automations, and a large marketing budget. Sound good? So as part of WP Beginner, we get a lot of emails about email marketing and people's questions and points that they make. So this workshop is structured in that way. We're going to cover the points that people have brought up. We're going to answer those points, and we're going to dive into some of the products that and solutions that solve those problems as well. Let's go to green. So first one is this necessary? I have a Facebook, Instagram. Why bother with email? Okay, so let's take a look at what social media actually means for your business. You don't own your followers. Basically, social is a borrowed land. Your channel page is just like renting space. You don't own your followers, your feed, or your profile. That's always all someone else's platform, which they control, whether it's Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, YouTube, well, I suppose say X then. They all own the platform. They own what you can do on the platform. So basically, with someone else controlling it and you relying on how they operate and the algorithms they control, if your social account gets hacked or taken down for any reason, if you get hacked and they start posting malicious content, you can actually lose all your followers and that particular method of reaching them. So the amount of effort that you put into social media, all the posts that you schedule, all the things that you think of doing, maybe you run giveaways and things like that, or you have specific campaigns around social media. All you're trying to do there is collect as many followers as possible and reach them. Now, once you've done that, you've spent maybe a year, 2 years, even more. Maybe you've got a team doing it. All that can be taken away with a click of a button by the social media companies. And that completely limits that marketing approach for you. And we know this has happened to high profile accounts in the past, and it's caused them to lose a lot of revenue. And from doing some research in this as well, the social media companies don't really have a very good response to either someone hacking your site or it being taken down, hacking your social account or it being taken down. It can be quite a long process to get it back up and running, even if you can get it back at all. Okay, so what's the second reality of social media? Well, as it's someone else's platform, as I've said, they control what everyone sees. So even if you have 1 million followers, and only a small percentage will see the content you put out. And there's no way to predict this. And this means it becomes a volume game, which means a lot more effort to get the message out to your followers. Or you can pay more and more on ads, which increases your marketing budget. So you might have even experienced this even on your personal accounts, that you post your post out, and even if you've got 200, 300, 500 friends, followers, whatever, not all of them are going to see your post. And then if you can have a conversation with someone and say, did you see what I put out? And they'll be like, no. And this is just multiply really when it becomes brand accounts and business accounts as well. So only a small percentage of followers will actually see what you put out. Okay, and also people also follow social accounts for different reasons. So you might think about the way that you use social media and the accounts you follow. It might be just because you like something someone posted, but not particularly, maybe the service or product that they offer. It might be just based on the post, the creative that they put out. So in that way, social followers are more casual, and they're generally not interested in making a purchase. You usually have to warm them up a lot on social media to then get them to make a purchase on your site. Now, on the flip side, the reality of email marketing is you own the list. So even with using email marketing platforms, which we'll get into in a bit later, you can export your email list, download it, and then import it into a new platform. That list is not owned by anyone else but you. So you can download it, keep it in a safe place, and then use it as you want. And you're also not limited by the social media algorithms or any algorithm. So if you have 200 or 20,000 subscribers, you have the potential of reaching every person's inbox regularly. And because they're email subscribers on your list, that means they've taken interest in something that you've done. They've either signed up to a newsletter or they've made the purchase in the past. You've interacted with them in some way to get their email on your email list, which means they are so much more likely to purchase from you because they understand who you are and what you do already. Okay, is everyone with us? Cool. I can see there's questions going in the Q&A. So yeah, if you do have any questions while I'm doing this, drop them in the Q&A and I'll continue on this one. So another one is, I've tried it before and it didn't work. Email just doesn't work for my business. And the reason it fails for a lot of businesses, I'm going to make this general as well. It's not the email that doesn't work. It's just that you didn't have the right system. And we're going to talk about putting the system in place and connecting the tools that I'm going to demo a bit later so that it's super easy for you and you don't have to think about it too much. So the first one is there's no clear strategy to start with or no clear directional goal. So if you don't have a plan for what do you want people to get out of your emails, then everything becomes a lot harder and you'll lose motivation. And because you lose motivation, you'll lose more people from your list. You need to have a bit of an idea of who you're marketing to, who's in your list, who you're marketing to, and what you want to say to them. And ultimately, you don't want to bombard them with lots and lots and lots of promotions through an email list. It needs to be a slow drip of, information, things that they would find interesting as an audience, and a way, just warming them up to, putting offers out and things like that. Also, another reason it fails is poor segmentation, which means basically the messages you put out don't really go to the right people. Segmentation basically means once you've got an email list, you divide up your email list based on a subscriber's interests or behavior on your site. So whether, if you've got a gardening website, for example, whether they're interested in, growing vegetables or landscaping, those could be two different interests. You could target them in different ways, sending them different emails. Also in behavior, it could be, have they signed up to a newsletter or have they made a purchase on your site or have they interacted with something else or have they clicked on a previous email or a link on a previous email. So we're going to get into segmentation. I'll show you in our email marketing platform that we're recommending. I'll show you how that can be done there. Super easy to do. And then also another reason that things fail as well is weak offers lead to less email engagement. So if the offer isn't strong enough or doesn't connect with the subscribers, people switch off. And that has something to do with the first two as well. Like basically, if there's no clear strategy, you don't know who you're targeting, you're not going to really target people with an offer that they're really going to connect with. And the same way as well is if you're not very specific about your offer as well and what people are interested in or how they behave on your site, that offer might not hit the target as well. So those are the main reasons that these things fail in the beginning. Now, let's flip it and then look at how to succeed. So focus on a clear goal. And with this as well, it's with email marketing, it is about putting a bit of time and effort into the planning of it, understanding who the people are visiting your website, and then mapping out what you want those people to do and what you want them to get from an email campaign. You need to target the right people with the right message. So let's say you have a garden focused online store. I'm going with gardening for some reason. And you built up a list of 500 subscribers. Some have signed up for a free downloadable. And that downloadable is a guide on how to grow the best tomatoes. And the other people have just made purchases in your store, maybe for like a shovel or a gardening fork or something like that. If you send an email about growing the best vegetables to grow each month, it's more likely to resonate with the people that signed up for the free guide about growing the best tomatoes. As you know, they're interested in growing vegetables, whereas the people that just bought a shovel or a fork might just be interested in growing flowers or landscaping. So hopefully that kind of breaks it up a little bit and kind of demonstrates, that targeting people with the right message is going to mean something. And segmentation is very, very, very helpful. So by segmenting the list, you can target email specific audiences, which get a higher open rate and conversion. So you can see how that works. And the final thing we need to think about here when we're talking about succeeding with email marketing is just to be consistent with your approach. And I know that can be a little bit hard, but like I said, I've got some goodies at the end that are going to help you do this really, really easily. So stick with me and we'll get to that bit in a minute. Okay, so one of the biggest things is picking the right email marketing platform for you. And the one thing I want people to think about is to make it as simple and easy as possible. And that's what I'm going to try and do for you in this workshop. So for that, we recommend starting with Constant Contact. You may have used an email marketing platform already. That's completely fine. I'm just going to demonstrate an overview of Constant Contact because we talked about building an email marketing system that's super easy, that's connected, that you don't really have to think about, that can be automated really easily. Constant Contact is the platform that we recommend. And what we can do in this is with Constant Contact, you don't even need a credit card to get started. So if you want to follow the link on screen, it is WP Beginner up. I actually pop it up in the chat as well. Let's just grab that link. So if anyone wants to follow along whilst I do this, there's the link to Constant Contact. Basically, you can sign up for free. There's no credit card required. I think you get a 30-day trial, up to 100 emails that you can send out. But yeah, it definitely give you enough to be able to kind of test out and try yourselves. I'm going to share my screen now so that I can demo Constant Contact. So hopefully everyone can see my screen right here now. Yep. Okay, so I've logged into my Constant Contact account. I don't have a special account. This is the free account, so I don't have anything special over anything you guys are going to see. And you'll see in this is the main dashboard, the overview screen, and you get some nice information here. You get performance report. Obviously, I haven't got very much in this at the moment. And then you've got some quick actions here, and then you've got templates that you can use for sending emails out and things like that. Now, over here on the left-hand side, you've got things like dashboard, campaign, contacts, channels, audience, assets, reports, automations, and integrations as well. Okay, so you could go through this one by one, but really what you want to do is when you get started, you want to start adding your audience. And I'm going to show you how to connect this to your WordPress site with the next tool that I'm going to demonstrate. But if you want to get started with this, then you need to come to audience here and then click on lists and segments. And basically, lists and segments are how you organize your contacts or your audience in Constant Contact. So you can create a list. So you can go create new over here, a list basically here, and then click continue. And I know I'm going to do a lead magnet list. So I'm just going to call this lead magnet. And click save. Now that's added a list to that. Sorry, go back to that overview. So that's added that list to this list of leads. List of email lists. So you can also create a segment as well. And segment is basically how you divide up your email list into interests or behaviors. And you can do that by clicking on create new segment, click continue. And then you can add criteria for this segment. So if you click on add criteria, you can now choose some criteria based on people's behaviors or their profiles and things like that. So you can choose for contact profile, you can choose that this, people with a certain birthday can be, so if they've got, sorry, I'll do that again. So let's do it for birthday. So let's say our contacts in the list, they've got birthday month, then you choose the operator here. Their birthday month is, say, January, February, March. So you pick March or April, something like that. So you can then say this segment is for people whose birthday is in April from the list, and then they'll be added to this. So then you can send out a birthday email for everyone in to this list in April and things like that. Just going to cancel that. And once you create a list for in Constant Contact, we can then use that list to connect to a newsletter sign up form, a contact form, things like that as well. So I'll show you that on that side of when we're on the WordPress site. So if we just go into campaigns, I'll show you a bit about that as well. So we can create campaigns, and campaigns are ways that we message our list as well. So we can create single channel, multi-channel, and calendar view. So I'm just going to stick under single channel right here, and I'm just going to click on create campaign. You can see the kind of campaigns we can now create using Constant Contact. Email is the one that I'll be using in this for building an email list, but you've got events that you can do, sign up forms, and we'll get into that as well. Yes, Constant Contact does have a sign up form that you can use, but we're gonna actually suggest using something else because it works a little bit better with WordPress. You create landing pages, ads, social posts, and things like that. So there's a lot that you can do in terms of campaigns. If you want to look at contacts, these are all the contacts in your list. Obviously, this is a test one. This isn't a real email address, but you can also look at different channels as well. So you've got email channels where you want to create more emails and things like that. Social, you can create social media posts through this as well. Create events as well for it as well. So there's a lot of different things that you can do within Constant Contact. And obviously, this is a free trial. If you find this really helpful, I definitely suggest upgrading. You can upgrade right there. But also something that we're going to look at a bit later on as well is automations. So what I'm going to show you a bit later on, we've actually got put together a 5-day welcome email sequence for you guys to download, and I'm going to provide that a bit later on, and I'll go through that when I provide it, and I'll show you how to add that to Constant Contact so you can start building that automation so that you can send the first email on day one, miss a day, send the second email, miss a day, things like that. So you can build all that really, really easy using Constant Contact. And then obviously you've got reporting so that you can see things like who's interacted with your emails, how many clicks, how many people open rate, all that kind of stuff through here as well. And then integrations, what Constant Contact can be integrated with. And there's so many different fantastic integrations. What I do like about Constant Contact as well is, let's just go to channels. Let's create an email. So just click create email button. It's just the amazing templates you can get. So obviously personalize your templates. These are just templates you can use, but also they've got absolutely loads of email templates that you can choose from, that you can search through. And one thing I really, really like about this is if you go over here to my brand and click get started, you can enter your email address. And I'll show you how to do this right now, because I'll just use my demo account, my demo website, sorry, to fill this in. I'm just copying the URL for my demo site. I'm just going to paste it in to this, and then we're going to allow Constant Contact to scan for branding. And what it's going to do is it's going to pull, so it's pulled the Bluehost logo, but you don't have to use that. But I like that it's pulled in the colors, and it's pulled in some images from my site as well, which is fantastic. So I can use this to get started and apply this to the templates that are here in Constant Contact. It's a really quick and easy way to do that. Okay, so I'm going to stop demonstrating Constant Contact, and we're going to carry on looking at how we collect emails and things like that as well. So we're just going to jump back into the presentation. And I'm just going to look at the chat. Okay, so let's start the presentation out. Start. Okay, so that's Constant Contact. Okay, so is it worth it? Email doesn't sound like a good use of my time and effort, so email is actually the best return on investment. Email isn't just worth it, it's one of the highest return on investment channels you'll ever use. To make sure you get the most out of your $1 spend, which gets you a $36 return, you need to make sure you spend on the right tools that work seamlessly together. So I've showed you Constant Contact there quickly, and I'm going to show you the tool to connect it to your WordPress site to build your email list up there as well. So also, 4 out of 5 marketers say they'd rather give up social media than email. 60% of consumers say they've made a purchase because of marketing email. And the average open rate as of the research that I did right now is 21% versus organic social reach, which is often around 5% or less. Okay, so another thing people say to us is lack of time, knowledge, and resources. I don't have the time, it's too technical. So solution one is to start with an easy onboarding welcome email sequence that greets subscribers after they sign up. And I'm going to drop my free download for this. So you can grab our completely free 5-day email sequence template and just customize and create the sequence in Constant Contact. You can also, another second solution for this is set up RSS-based emails where you can automatically send emails when a new post or product is published on the site. So RSS feeds are quite easy to set up within WordPress. You can use WooCommerce for this, or you can use other plugins to generate RSS feeds based on whether it's a product or a post or something like that. And Constant Contact also allows you to set up RSS-based emails within it as well. I'm not going to do that in this workshop, but if you want to see a video on setting up RSS-based emails and pulling products in, let me know in the chat, and we'll create one on the WP Beginner video channel as well. So what's the key to growing your list fast? Well, you need a way to collect email easily. So for this, the next product we're going to look at is WPForms, because you can connect WPForms and Constant Contact in minutes. I'm going to show you how to do it really, really quickly. And the reason that I'd use WPForms over the built-in Constant Contact form is because basically WPForms integrates really, really well with WordPress themes, and it can connect to or replace any existing forms you have on your site in a couple of clicks. You can also place forms anywhere in the sidebar, at the end of posts, or on landing pages. And with WPForms, you can also create as many different forms as you need, with each with this email sign up consent box, or connect them to Constant Contact or different email lists as well. It's fantastic, and we're going to look at that in the next slide. So yeah, let's go ahead and jump onto the site and create a newsletter sign up form with WPForms. I'm going to show you how to create that. I'm going to show you how to connect it to Constant Contact, and then we'll test the form, and you'll be able to see that in Constant Contact as well. So hopefully you can see my demo website, and this demo website is basically a fitness site. I use it in a couple of workshops. The most important thing is I've got WPForms on here, and it's WPForms Lite. So all you need to do is go to plugins, add plugin, search for WPForm, install and activate it. Then to create a newsletter sign up form, just click on WPForms. Actually, what we'll do first is click on WPForms, go to settings, and we'll connect to Constant Contact. So go on WPForms, settings, integrations, and with WPForms Lite, you get integrations for Constant Contact and also Uncanny Automate, which is fantastic. So you can use automations right within WordPress through WPForms completely for free. But I absolutely love that they offer the Constant Contact integration completely for free as well. That's really, really cool. So all you need to do is click on Constant Contact right here, click on Add New Account. Now I'm going to sign into my account in a pop-up. And as I sign in, you'll see now that it's connected to my account, and it will show that it's connected right there. So now we can go ahead and create a form and create the connection with Constant Contact for that form as well. So just go to WPForms, click on that. Then I've already created a lead magnet newsletter form right there, but I'm going to show you how to do this really quickly. So click on Add New in the Forms overview. Then name the form whatever you want. So I'll just put lead magnet. And when I'm saying lead magnet form, what I'm saying here is a lead magnet is something that you offer people. So like I mentioned, the free guide or free downloadable or something like that. So it's an exchange for someone's email. So the idea with this is I will create this form. I will add it to different places on the site where people can sign up to get a free guide based on something to do with fitness specifically for this site. So all I've done now is just put my name, just name my form. Then you're going to come down and select a template. You've got tons and tons of templates for WPForms. So many you probably couldn't actually scroll through them on this page, but all you need to do is click in the search bar, and I'll just put newsletter. And we can see right here, we've got a newsletter sign up form. We've got the Constant Contact newsletter sign up. So I'm just going to click on use template to use that. Okay, so now we're on the form builder. And just to get your bearings around this, basically you've got the setup here, which is where the templates are. You've got fields that you can add to this form. You've got settings where you can set up a bit more about this form in the background. And marketing is where we're going to connect constant contact. And payments, well, you do get the option in the light version to set up payments on forms, which is amazing. Now, these gray fields out here, which are called fancy fields, these are the pro version of WPForms. And I'll be giving you a very exclusive offer at the end of this workshop as well to get the pro version of WPForms for that. But really, essentially, this bit in the middle right here, you've got the fields here, and then you've got a preview of what the form's going to look like. And if I hover over any of these fields, you'll be able to see they're outlined by a box. You can click on a field and then you can open the field options here. So you can see you can change the label. It's currently name. You can change that to whatever. Format is you collecting their first and last name. So you may just want it simple and just want a first name, last name together, or first, middle, or last. I'm just going to keep it on first and last. You can also describe what it is as well. And if it's required, so if you want people to fill this out before they submit the form, you require this information. This is information you need, and we do need the first, last, and email for the newsletter. So you just have to toggle this required field right here, and you'll see there's a little red asterisk which lets people know they can't complete the form without filling this out. If you hover over the email section as well, you can click on that, and you've got the same kind of information right there. And you can also enable email confirmation as well, so that you make sure you get the correct email entered into the form. Now, what if you wanted to add more fields to this? Well, you can do that really easily. These are the standard fields that come with WPForms Lite, and they're really, really helpful. You've got things like single line text. So if you need specific information, custom information, paragraph text. So if you want a message, numbers, if you want that. Number slider, capture, drop down, check boxes, multiple choice. So if you want to ask people questions within your form as well, and you want that information, for whatever reason, you can then change the label of that, and then you can change the choices by typing the choices in here as well. The great thing about WPForms as well is you might see you got the AI sparkles on some of these things, and you can generate choices based on what you input into the label. So you can generate multiple choices. You don't even have to think about them. You can generate them within WPForms as well. If you want to get rid of a field from the newsletter form, you can just come over here and delete the field as well. You can duplicate fields if you want to speed up the process. I'm just going to delete that. So you've got lots of options when you're setting up this form. You can go into settings here and you can do spam protection. You can change the theme. Notifications is what's sent to the administrator and things like that. And confirmations is what the person sees when they submit the form as well. Everything else here that's grayed out is part of the pro version of WPForms, and there is a lot of fantastic add-ons and features that you can get in that. But WPForms Lite does give you really powerful integrations and add-ons. And if we come to marketing here, you'll see what I was talking about a bit earlier. This is how we connect this form to the list that we created in Constant Contact. And you can see we've got Uncanny Automator that we can connect here, which I talked about a bit earlier. But I'm going to connect to Constant Contact. So I'm going to click on that. And then I'm just going to click on Add New Connection. You can name it whatever you want. I'm just going to leave it like that. It's got my account selected, and then the action to perform. The action to perform is either to subscribe, unsubscribe, or delete subscriber. You're going to subscribe, and then the email. You have to map the email to the email field. So if you click on the email dropdown, click on email, then select the list as well. So newsletter, lead magnet, my contacts. I created the lead magnet list that you remember in Constant Contact. You can click on that. And then the custom fields, we can select a field. We can map the first name to the first name here. And then we can add more as well. So we can last name to the last name there as well. And you can do more by clicking the plus or delete by clicking the minus button. So that's basically setting that up. All you have to do then is click on add new connection. I don't think. Anyway, so once you've done that, you can go back to the fields, just double check that. Make sure that your newsletter form is completely done, and then click save, and that's going to save and that form, and it's going to be available to add to your site. I'll just show you how to quickly do that with this. So I'm going to exit the form editor. You can see my lead magnet in the list there. I'm just going to go to posts, all posts. I'm just going to pick a blog post. So I'm going to click on editing this post. And for this post, I've actually added in a section where I'm going to add my sign up form. So I've just created a lead magnet box right here. It's basically just got a paragraph and some text in, and then it's a 2-column layout. So I'm just going to add in the form here. So click on WPForms. That adds the form widget right there, or form block right there. You can click on the drop down and then click on lead magnet. And then that's going to add in my lead magnet right there. So it doesn't look great here, but if I click save, and if I preview this by going back and then just looking at the website, because I don't want to open up a new tab. Go to blog. Go to that blog post. And like I said, this is all demo content. You can see that form is there ready to collect emails. So I can add in the person and submit. And then they get the submit email message as well. So I'll stop sharing this screen and come back to the presentation. So that's quickly, hopefully you got an idea of creating and connecting WPForms and Constant Contact. That's your system for, and with WPForms as well, because you can create as many forms as you want, you can put them around your site. So you can put them in the sidebar, you can put them in the footer, which I've got one in the footer as well, within blog posts, on pages, and you can create things like lead magnets like I have, so which would be what we give you in the email sequence. So I'm just going to show you that 5 email sequence and just talk you through that now as well. So if I share that on this screen, hopefully you can see this. I'll expand it out so people can see a bit more and zoom it in. This is the downloadable that you can get for free. And this is a 5-day email welcome sequence that we suggest that you guys start with. Super easy to use. All you need to do is customize it within Constant Contact or whatever email marketing platform you're using. So the lead magnet form that I created on my WordPress site, that's being connected to my Constant Contact lead magnet list. And the first email that I can put in that sequence when someone signs up to the list is this welcome email right here. So this welcome email basically says, welcome to, you can add your brand name. Welcome, here's your free gift. And then you use the person's first name, which you gathered with WPForms. Welcome board. I'm so glad you're here. As promised, here's a link to your free and whatever you're offering on your site. So for that one, it was a free guide to fitness. And then you give a download link, and that download can be anywhere. It can be in in Google Drive or Dropbox or something like that, that you can just add the link there so people can download it. Then in this, because it's an introductory email as part of this sequence, you then tell them a bit about yourself, who you serve, and what kind of problems people can benefit from these emails. So you're kind of laying out in this sequence, what people can expect and the frequency that they can expect the emails for as well. And I think this one's a really nice thing to put into an email. In the meantime, feel free to hit replay and say, hi, I'd love to hear what you're working on and what brought you here. And that's going to help you could gather more information about the people that have signed up to your email list, which also fuels the future emails that you can send them, whether you segment them into different interests and things like that. It's a really cool thing. Then quickly, we'll go to email 2. Is a quick tip that can make a big difference. So you're giving them an actionable tip in that one. And also a resource you'll love. So part of this as well is sending people obviously to your blog, to your products and things like that. So you can then start inserting in resources into these emails. And this is just a free email sequence that we put together that we thought, that you could use for your business, but also it can be inspiration for an email sequence. You don't have to use it word for word. It's just something to get started with. So we've got email 4. You might have missed these. So you've got more resources, more products, things like that as well. And email 5 is ready to take the next step. So you can basically then ready to achieve some sort of transformation faster. And you can link to more products, landing pages, sales pages, and things like that as well. Now you'll see at the bottom here, within this, I've added 2 tools, Audience Segmentation Helper and Email Campaign Planner. And this is the bit where I want everyone to kind of understand that, doing email marketing doesn't have to be hard. These 2 tools are completely custom GPTs. So that's using ChatGPT, custom GPTs that are specifically there to help you segment your audience. So the Audience Segmentation Helper is going to help you understand how to segment your audience and what kind of emails you should be sending them and things like that. And the Email Campaign Planner, well, that just asks you a couple of questions about what your website is, the business you have, what your goal is, what your audience might be. And then it basically gives you a 3-month calendar of the kind of emails that you can send out. And it will even write templates for those emails as well. And maybe we'll do that in a bit. At the end of the workshop, I'm going to ask in the chat someone to give me their business and things, and we'll go through those tools so you can actually see them working. Okay, so I'm going to stop sharing that. And we're going to go back to the presentation. So I'll start the presentation up. I'm just going to check in the chat as well cool. So some people want the RSS video. That's fantastic. Don and Andrew, I apologize if I was a bit fast through that bit. I wanted to get as much in as possible, but yeah, definitely watch the replay. Hopefully, even if you want a breakdown of any part of this email marketing workshop as well into a video, so not just the RSS video, let me know, because I'll put a bigger video together that I'll go into a bit more detail. So if you want me to go down into setting up Constant Contact and connecting everything up, and then how to add those emails in, I can do that as well. But we'll carry on with the presentation, and then if we've got time at the end of the workshop, I'll dive into a bit more of the demo if some people are a bit have lost me in a few places. Yeah, but I apologize if it was a bit fast in places for that. Okay. Okay, so let's go to the next thing. So WPForms is a great way of creating newsletters and forms, lots of different forms like payment forms and things like that on your site. But if you want to take this to the next level as well, you can get ahead with pop-up forms using OptiMonster. I don't know if anyone's familiar with what OptiMonster does, but basically it's a great way of supercharging your email list. So instead of just creating a newsletter sign up form or something like that, you can go ahead and use OptiMonster and its templates. It's got templates just like you've seen WPForms and Constant Contact. You don't have to build anything from scratch. It can help you create pop-ups and floating bars and so many different things on your website, which are very dynamic and let you target specific people on specific pages. For instance, say you've got a product page. Let's use the Guardian website. Let's say you've got a bucket on a the Guardian online store, and someone's been viewing it. They're on the product page, and they go to exit that page. Now, what OptiMonster will do is it will notice that someone's going to exit, and it will then, if you've set it up in OptiMonster, you can set up what is called an exit intent pop-up specifically to that page. So what you can do, a pop-up will come up then, and you can design that pop-up to be related to the bucket or whatever is on the product page, whatever that product is on that page. So you can then create an offer or a voucher or a sign up in some way where someone puts in their email address and they'll receive a voucher code for that specific product. And with that, you'll collect the email for your email address. You'll know what products they're interested in because it's been on that specific product page. But also, they get a voucher code to then make that purchase. And hopefully they don't exit the site. They make the purchase, and you've then converted someone that would otherwise leave. That's a really good question, John. How acceptable to users are pop-ups? I think this is something that OptiMonster does well, because it's not just pop-ups they deal with. They do floating bars. They do specific campaigns in on sites. I think the best thing with this is to think about, just like with email marketing, think about how useful this would be on your site. Sometimes people can look at the analytics on their site and they can see people going on product pages and bouncing, and it might just be that someone needs to be shown an offer or something just before they make a decision. So pop-ups can be quite helpful in that way. But if you use them a lot on your website for every single product, then I don't think they will be acceptable. Hopefully that answers that. Barbara, you don't have to worry about that too much. OptiMonster is like, if you wanted to, I would stick with what I've shown you in this at the start of this workshop. If you're getting started and you're looking to build an email list, what I would do is I'd get started with a email marketing platform like Constant Contact. I would create a newsletter sign up form, which we've done in the workshop, and I'd just put that on the website and see how that goes building your list. But if people already have an email list and they've already got newsletter sign up forms and they want other ways to collect emails and boost their email collection on their site, OptiMonster is a fantastic tool for that as well. Okay, so now we've been through a couple of products. Actually, what I'll do before we get into this section, I did want to have some audience interaction. So hopefully some people have got enough time for this. I will get to, actually, let's do this. Sorry, let's do it the way I was going to do it anyway. So we've been through the workshop. We've done a couple of demos. Hopefully you've seen the products that I've kind of mentioned. Hopefully I've given some good information about, building an email list and why it works and things like that as well. Hopefully I've answered a few people's questions. Hopefully people have added questions into Q&A, because we're going to get into that in a minute. But now it's the time to act. So we've arranged for an exclusive WPForms discount today. So you can get started right away. You don't just need to learn this. You can actually lock it in. So with this, you're going to get a 50% off any WPForms plan. That's $49 to $299 off. You've got the 5 email welcome sequence template, which I've added, and it's still live on the chat as well. Also, you'll get a link to this in the post workshop email, and access to exclusive custom GPTs for this workshop, which we're going to demo in a second. So the total value of this is $168 to $418 saved. And it's today yours for free. You get started free with Constant Contact, get started free with WPForms. You get all the things that I just mentioned and showed you with the template and things like that completely for free. So with this, all you need to do, if you want to claim your 50% discount off WPForms, is just go to wpforms.com/WP Beginner, and that's going to get you the specific WP Beginner side of WP Forms. And I'm going to drop that link in the chat as well. So if you click on that link, you'll get the discount on WP Forms. And before we get into the Q&A, someone just, I'm going to share my screen for the audience segmentation helper. And I'm just going to run through, actually, let's do the email campaign planner. So just share that screen. Because I want to show you how this works and how easy this is. So share that screen right now. Email campaign player. So you can see that screen right there. Hopefully I can make it a bit wider or zoom it in so people can see it a bit better. Okay, so audience interaction part. I'm just going to type in hi to get started, and you'll see the GPT working on screen. Oh, that's not worked properly, has it? Let me see if I can bring it up. This is what happens with live workshops when I go off script. Let me see if I go. Okay, so I'm just going to open that back up. Okay, so I'll just share that screen again, hopefully. Okay, that's got a technical problem. So let's get to the Q&A, and hopefully I'll be able to fix that before the end of the workshop, but I'm not sure it's going to happen. Okay, so Q&A, let's go back to the top. And thanks everyone for putting your Q&A, your questions into the Q&A section. I'm just going to leave the presentation slide up on here if anyone wants that link as well. So Regina asks, how can I get my email list to engage with me and the books I write? I think this is all about your positioning and how you position what your email list. So what you're building your email list around, who you're building your email list around, what you're actually putting into your email list. So some people, especially in the book space, they write a book and then there might be additional things that might not have made it into the book, and there might be an extension like there's, when you're editing books, I imagine there's lots of things that don't make it in. What I'd then probably do is say to anyone that, buys a book or purchases your book, add them to a specific list on your email list, and then start emailing them with segments of the book that didn't make it, or, expand on sections of the book within the email, and then always link back to, the purchase of the book and things like that. that's a good way of, getting people to understand a bit more about what you're writing about. And then also you can then, with an email list as well, start teasing to people anything else you're writing, getting information from people, getting responses, doing polls. Constant Contact allows you to do that within it as well. You can set up surveys and polls with your readers, so what they're interested in. I find, especially with what we do at WP Beginner as well, we do this a lot, is we ask questions in our emails to get responses from our audience. We're not afraid to ask, for people information, just like I do with you guys in this chat, getting some more information about what you do and how you do it and things like that, so that we try and tailor not just this workshop, but for future workshops around the audience. And hopefully we're giving the information that you guys want. So Regina, hopefully that answers you a little bit. But yeah, also those GPTs, the ones that are not working for me right now, that'll help you, especially the one which plans 3 months. If you tell it, give it a bit more information about what you do and things like that, it'll give you some information about, what kind of emails to write, what sequences to write, how to write them, templates and things like that you can use. So that will speed up your process. It's all about learning as well. Most emails make it based on the titles and tags and title and tagline that people use. So it's experimenting with them and seeing what people click on and monitoring the click-through rate, the click rate on emails. And it's just about the best thing to do with emails is to be consistent and keep doing it. So if you're saying that you're going to do 1 email a week, two emails a month, or more, just be consistent. Don't be too worried about numbers to start with, and just see if you can find patterns when you're writing titles in email titles in a specific way, taglines in a specific way, what kind of content you're putting in your emails. It just needs to be a bit more kind of mindful and make notes on what's worked and what hasn't. Hopefully that's answered that question. Jennifer, been using WordPress for a long time, but skills needed are vast. Well, Jennifer, if you want to let me know what kind of things you're stuck on, then we can definitely make more videos on that for the channel and stuff like that. I think we get information and ideas by chatting to you guys this way, but also what you're stuck on, that'd be interesting to find. Christopher, building my first email list for my affiliate marketing website. Thanks for the input. Thank you for saying that. Terry said, will this be recorded? It's being recorded so you can watch it again. So if I was a little bit fast in parts, sorry about that. Don asked, ambiguity of analytics, what do those numbers really mean? So is that analytics within your site or the numbers for emails? Just let me know, Don. Regina, how does Constant Contact compare with MailChimp for authors? So we recommend Constant Contact because we feel it is a really good overall email marketing platform, really easy to use. MailChimp's not great, and you do hit a lot of things with MailChimp. I feel like Constant Contact is one of those platforms where just based on the system you can build with WPForms as well, completely for free. You can test all this out for free with the light version of WPForms, and you can see how it works. And if you're building an email list, the first thing you have to do is kind of find a system that works for you and is easy to use. You don't want to do something that's too complex. So I feel like there's enough information about WPForms out there, especially on our YouTube channel, that you can kind of understand that and how that works. And with Constant Contact, it's quite hard not to put together like automations and things like that. And it's something I will show you in this workshop. I'll do another 10 minutes of Q&A, and then I'll put the automation. So I'll show you how to put those emails into Constant Contact as well. Tim, there's a fine line between providing info, moving people along the funnel, and bugging, annoying people. What are the best practices? So I find, I follow a creator called Gary V quite a lot, and he has written a lot of books about interacting with people. And he says something like jab, 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 right hook, which basically means jab, jab, jab is information, 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 and then right hook is your offer. I feel the more that you can provide value and information in your emails, and that just from an interest point of view, a lot of emails are broken up into, some people gather or curate information from their industry. So, if you find you get 4 different emails from 4 different sources within your industry that give you updates on their products, then you could probably gather that information, distill it into a paragraph or 2 paragraphs for your audience that might be interested in that. So you could then start building up a kind of latest news section of your email, which people get used to, then some information about what you're doing, then information about any kind of resources that you've just put on your site and things like that. The amount of information that you can give people in an email, I feel that's what keeps people reading those emails. It's not offer after offer after offer after offer. Obviously, that's when people start unsubscribing from emails and stop reading emails. I believe it's more about taking the approach of, thinking about the questions that people ask you as well. If you get a lot of questions about specific products or services that you do, and you get the same questions again and again, you can almost put your FAQ or your frequently asked questions into your emails so that people get that kind of information in an easy to digest way. I feel that, maybe also is the frequency that you're doing emails. So if you have to remember that you're the one doing these emails as well, and and posting these emails out or sending these emails out to people. You have to make it easy for yourself so that you keep it consistent, so that you can do this for 2-3 months, so that you can gather information and data on how people interact with those emails as well. But also you have to make it frequently enough that people are going to, and regular enough that people understand that they're going to get this email at this time from you, and they're going to get this kind of information. Elvia Thompson. So how many emails are too many? I think that depends on the audience that you have and the information that you can put in them, because what you don't want to do is you don't want to burn yourself out of the information you can put into your emails and then start stressing out about having to keep up a consistent, 1 email a day situation. You have to find that balance which is right for you. If you feel like you can write 1 email a week really, really well, and then people can receive 1 email a week really, really well. What you don't want to do is then start, say you're going to make 2-3, or you're going to do 2-3 emails a week, and then stuffing it with just filling, information that people don't need. You kind of need to treat them just like shorter blog posts in a way. You want people to be able to read them, get value from them, and you want to be able to maintain the flow of emails that you can do alongside running your business and all the jobs that you do. So how many emails are too many? Maybe be how many emails are too many for you to do. What you don't want to do is you don't want to run out of ideas for emails too quickly. But frequently email people just that really valuable information. 1 email a week might be good. 2 emails a month might be good. 1 email a month might not hit the spot. You want to be a little bit more frequent than that, I feel, to make sure that people notice you, because obviously people will miss emails as well when they go into their inbox. People get lots and lots of emails. They might not see your first, second, or third email, depending on how many they get. So you want to make sure it is frequent, but not frequent enough that you're burning yourself out. Angie, you asked if I already have WPForms, how would I get the other goodies? Well, hopefully the downloadable is still available. Let me know if anyone's downloaded that, and you'll get it that way. So, but Terry, I believe so. CC Lite only has one automation template. Does this mean you can have only one automation or only one automation type of automation, like welcome series? So I think I believe it starts with one automation. So that's just to see how it goes. Obviously, the constant contact free version. I believe it's a 30-day trial. I believe it is. I may be wrong. You might have to let me know in the chat. I believe it's a 30-day trial. I believe you can send out 100 emails, and then it goes into a paid for service. So there's enough there to test it out, but I would say that you after 30 days you'll probably have a good idea whether you want to use it or not. So Ross has asked, can Constant Contact pull in newly published products from a WooCommerce site? So like I said, I'm going to do the RSS feed integration as a video on the WP beginner YouTube channel, so that we can dive into that bit. And I'll snip out a bit. I'll take the demo that I did today with Constant Contact connecting up to WPForms, and I'll create a full in-depth video of that as well, so that if anyone's interested in that and wants to see it, and I'm not going too fast, then I'll do that as well, and we'll do that in the next couple of weeks. So and we'll be able to email everyone about that one. So if you're interested in pulling products or posts and things like that into Constant Contact, we'll do that. And so Jennifer said, yes, I bought coffee from 2 different companies. One sends me only emails after ordering. One has an opt-in form, and I got emails before buying, but they emailed me every 3 days, which seems like a lot. Yeah, and also this is an important thing to mention about emails. So with certain lists as well, a good thing to do is to remove people from lists that aren't opening emails. We didn't do that in this workshop, but to make sure that people are receiving emails that want to receive emails, that's an important part of this as well. So you've got to maintain it. Once you've built that list, you have to maintain it, and you can do that in various ways. But if you're not opening every email by that company that are sending you every 3 days, they should then see that your open rate overall as a person on that list isn't great, and then that's when they should remove you from their list. And that's what everyone should be doing with their list, really, is adding them to a separate kind of list or things like that. Okay, and okay. Okay, and right, okay, I don't have much time for Q&A now, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to quickly have a look through chat and just have a look to see. So I think Andrew and Melissa is WPForms free for us to use. Yeah, WPForms Lite is free to use. You can download it. You can install it. Through your WordPress dashboard. You just go to plugins, add new, search for WPForms, add the Lite version. That's what I've been using in the workshop. It's a great way to get started. Andrew, how much is WPForms Pro? That is a good question. If I just click on my link, I will be able to answer that one. So the Pro version is basically, if you want WPForms on one site, the discount gets it for $49.50 a year. That's dollars. And then the plus is $99.50 a year, which is a $99.50 savings, 50%. And then pro is $199.50 a year. And that has a lot of the advanced features like surveys and polls, geolocation, Google Sheets, Google Drive integration, Google Calendar, Zapier, Dropbox, etc., etc. It's got conversion tools and things like that. So if you want to get started with WP Forms in terms of the paid version, you go with the basic version for $49, which is a fantastic price. And then you can work your way up if you need it. But yeah, just have a look at the pricing page, click on the link. Or just go ahead to wpforms.com/WP beginner, and you can look at pricing by just click on the Get WP Forms button right there, and you'll be able to have a look at that. And Barbara, thank you so much. One of the best webinars I've watched so far. Thank you so much. And Naz, the forms are great. Just went through so many helpful ones. Thanks. Yeah, that's really good too. And I'm just going to go back to Q&A. Okay, I think I've answered pretty much all the questions. And I did say quickly I'd show you how to do the integration. So what I'm going to do is, just for the end of this, whilst I've got the time, and I have my constant contact up somewhere. Yeah, I'm just going to hop back into constant contact and show anyone that wants to see the integration side. So I'm just going to go into that. Okay, so click on automations. And the templates I just showed you, click on setup now. Automation trigger status. So select the trigger. So there's multiple triggers that you can do, but subscribers to a list. Then click on these lists. And I'm going to choose one or more specific lists. Click on the drop down and then click on the lead magnet list, because that is the form that we created on the site. Click on save. Then we can see we've got this like flow automation diagram of the automation. And the first step here is someone signs up, someone's added to or someone subscribes to the list, instantly sends them an email. So what you can do then is you can click on this here, click on edit, name your email. So you can call it email 1 as part of that flow that we sent, that you guys have downloaded. And I'll also send out that as part of an email, as the post email as well. So if anyone hasn't downloaded it, you can download it. You can then choose a template for this email. I'd recommend using very similar templates to get started with. And then you can build from there. So you can just pick any template right here. I'll just select this one here. And it's very much like WP Forms or anything like that, drag and drop blocks. You can edit by clicking on any of these things on constant contact. You can change all of the design options. You can even write with AI inside constant contact as well, which is pretty cool. You want to head over to the templates that we sent out and then just copy the information for those templates right here. You can remove blocks and things like that by deleting. So let's say I just entered all that information into here. I just click on save and close to save that. Then we come back to our automation. And then what we're going to do here, we're going to pull over a time delay, drop it in here, and it says 1 week. Well, it's a 5-day email sequence, a welcome sequence. So what we could do is we could just say, we're going to edit this and we're going to leave the delay for 1 day. So we'll leave a day between sending emails. So, and then grab another action, pull it in here and send another email as well. And then you just do the same thing, edit that email with the day 2 email and continue to put the time delay in. And then when someone subscribes to the list, they're going to receive that email, wait 1 day, receive that email, and then go all the way to the 5-day email sequence. And at the end of it, you can then update or add tags to the sequence to then move them to another list or something like that. So you can put them through the sign up like automation. So the list could be the welcome sequence. And then once they come towards the end of the welcome sequence, you drag this over, add or remove from list, click on edit, and then you can remove them from this list and then add them to another list. Or you could basically add them to the other list first, So go newsletter, save, and then click edit and remove from the lead magnet list afterwards. So then that's clean, it's gone. They've gone straight into the newsletter sequence. And then once you're done, you just click save to save it and then activate to activate it. That's the really quick way of doing it. Okay, so that's pretty much all the time I've got for this workshop. I hope everyone enjoyed it. Let me know in the chat if you want to see any of the videos that I've mentioned. I really appreciate you guys joining today and sticking with me through all the demos and things. And hopefully it wasn't too fast for you. But yeah, you're going to get something in an email tomorrow with all the information that I've shared in this, with all the links to everything, so that you can grab the downloads, the GPTs, all that stuff, all that good stuff. And hopefully you guys can use it and it speeds up you creating your email marketing sequence. Also, if you've got any suggestions about anything to do with workshops or anything you want to see, send them to support@wpbeginner.com. Yes, Lara, there will be a replay available. Thanks. And yeah, so if you've got any suggestions for any workshops or anything like that, send them to support@wpbeginner.com and we'll collect all those informations. I get those sent to me when they come through about the workshops and things, and then I can start planning on anything else. So if you want to see an expanded version of anything you've seen in this workshop or any other workshops, make sure you go check those out on the WP Beginner YouTube channel as well. And hopefully you guys have a fantastic day, and I thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you in the next workshop. Thanks, guys.